Good evening, and welcome back to another Red Devils roundup on the Balls Out podcast. And delighted to say, joining me once again, been a minute, as we said off air. Naomi is back. Everybody, you good? How are you?
Hello, Nate. I'm doing great. Glad to be back. Yeah, little busy out here, just navigating the mid-year, but excited to be back. And if you didn't know better, you would have thought I planned it to be back after a win.
Oh yeah, yeah. You've dodged the amount of really poor and terrible performances, and you've come back right at the very best moment. No, it's been great. Yeah, we'll just get straight into it and say Thursday night. Me and Mark did a show last week, and we both said if we can get away with a 1-0 defeat or a 1-all draw, we'll be happy and we'll take it. I genuinely don't think anyone anticipated that kind of performance. So, what was your sort of feelings going into the game? Was you on that sort of same sort of wavelength, like just damage limitation sort of thing?
I was just so nervous. I remember being so nervous, like, and so on the edge. And it was a Thursday too, so there was like a lot going on for me. And I was
Yeah,
just like, this is just like increasing my anxiety. And then by halftime, things have changed for the better. And I was like, well, this is like really new. And I was one of my friends was around too, who's a Spurs fan, and they were also kind of experiencing the same thing where they were leading the game. So
yeah,
it was a great day for football.
yeah, incredible. We really couldn't have anticipated that sort of reaction. To go 1-0 up in the first place, then to get the penalty decision, the red card, which personally I think was an absolute stonewall penalty and a brilliant catch from the referee to go, yeah, he's not played the ball. It's a red card, and
Hmm.
yeah, you can say that they crumbled after that, but it was just a game of where, like we said, me and Mark said last week, we really thought it would just be a case of damage limitation. Just stretch the play, keep the ball, and even if we lost 1-0, it would have been a reasonable result with that cauldron. I mean, you could feel it in through the TV. It was just crazy performance.
Yeah.
We should really highlight. Obviously, we're going to highlight Bruno first of all. Another incredible performance. He's really got us out of the mud every single time. What have you made of his sort of? I would say a resurgence in this sort of second half of the season. Even though he's been consistent, this second half of the season for me personally, he's just pulled it out of the bag every single time.
Yeah, I mean Bruno Fernandez, like what can I say that hasn't already been said? Like he's literally a legend in the making. His post-match interviews were absolutely insane that day, and I
Yeah,
watched one specifically about I believe it was from like a Spanish channel, and they were like interviewing him and asking him about how the penalty shouldn't have been given, and he literally just like roasted them right on the spot, and like totally like he basically explained the rules of football to them, and it was such a
mm,
delight to watch last night. And then another quote is also going around where he said like, "Oh, I'm gonna rest when I'm dead," and I don't know.
brilliant.
It's just so
Yeah, brilliant.
romantic, you know. But yeah, he's like the internet is like flooded with Bruno content, and I've just been loving it and basking in that glory for him. And even with the penalty, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little nervous, but then it was him. I was still a little nervous, but you know, he connected it with the net like he always does. And he also said he was nervous, so like every single time it's like a process that he has to go through, like whether that's through like his breathing techniques or whatever he
Yeah.
does to like calm himself down and make sure that when an opportunity presents itself like that, like he makes sure to like get us ahead. And yeah, Hoyland too for getting us that penalty. We'll probably get into that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the confidence in Hoyland as well. From a sort of a mental health point of view, that's something that you're obviously very passionate about with your own channel and podcast. It takes massive amount of mental strength to be able to play consistently and be a leader in that respect, isn't it? From Bruno, like the way he spoke, like you just said after the match, that he's always told you need to take a rest, take it easy, and he said like I'll rest when I'm dead, sort of thing. Takes
Mhm.
mental capacity and mental strength to even begin to play
Yeah,
like
definitely. And I think for Bruno specifically, you see it in his penalties. Like you can see him doing those like breathing techniques that counselors often recommend people do, and really just like be at a very clear and kind of like take him out of his nerves. But he's very clear about who he is. He's very clear about who he wants, and you can tell that he does a lot of work on his mental health to maintain that. But yeah, he's just such a role model for people to look up to.
that. Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah. He's just. I don't think there'll be any arguments in who player of the season was. I think Bruno 100%, regardless of results now to the end of the season, he's 100% player of the season, no doubt. Another player who I personally I was not slating him, but I was critical of him probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. Is Casemiro, and in Europe, just an unbelievable turnaround. The experience that he has in European competition. Obviously, he's won the Champions League, I think, 4 or 5 times anyway. So to even step up to the plate in the Europa League, that some teams and some players would just look down on and sort of not really take much notice of. Casemiro has just shown everyone why he's still such a valuable asset when it comes to leadership and strong-minded.
Definitely, yeah. And I feel like we went through cycles of almost the entirety of the fan club wanting Casimir to leave the club, and we've all just been in cycles of that. So I guess you're not alone in your criticism. But it's always great to kind of see moments like this. I was kind of in the same boat for Harry. I was a big critic, not gonna lie, and he's turned it around and kind of silenced us all, and we're like absolutely loving it for him. We're all so proud of him and happy. For Harry, but also for Casemiro, like you mentioned. And I don't know. It's like whenever there's a win, you get
Mm,
all these like all these amazing things that are happening with like every player personally. And I kind of say that about like United. We're a very emotional team. That's why we like kind of lose easily sometimes when we start losing. So when emotions are high, yeah, uh, you know,
yeah, brilliant. Just his composure to take the goal first time on the header was just really good, and then even like just off the ball, just geeing up his teammates, getting everyone on the same page because you could see after we went the 1-0 up, I think even we were a little bit shocked. Like as a team, we were all a little bit shocked to say, "Wow, we've actually managed to score. We need to keep our composure." And I think Casemiro was so instrumental in that.
yeah,
And yeah, finally, just we've got to give Harry Maguire, his plaudits. He has just had, like you just said, from a massive turnaround to where at one point he was going to leave the club. He was going to go to West Ham, but the money wasn't there, and he didn't really like the idea of going to West Ham, so that didn't really materialise. And then to go from that to build himself back up and still say, no, I'm still going to be, a stalwart. I'm still going to do my job and professional. And honestly, the last two matches in the Europa League, we could not have asked for a better performance. Like just the header in the final minute against Lyon, and then to be up front on the wing, centre midfield, centre back, just an all-round player. And it just turns into you just see that sort of it's cliche, but that prime moment when a player hits his prime, it
hmm.
sort of feels a little bit like that at the moment for Maguire.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, with the previous game, like that was insane. That's kind
Yeah,
of moments like that make history. I don't know. That was an absolutely insane match, and like his contribution is absolutely detrimental. Honestly, I'm just so happy for him to like be at this stage, and I think it's a really big lesson for people and for like athletes, but also like the general population about like resiliency and like what it means to want something. And I don't know, as a fan, it makes me feel good that like they still want it as much as we do. And I
yeah,
feel like this last two games we were like really able to see that. And yeah, with Harry, we got to give him his flowers again. Like all the fans are going absolutely crazy um, for for his game in like both these last two matches. So yeah, it's just so exciting to see it. Harry Amal is one of my favorite trending jokes right now.
Oh,
But yeah,
Harry Dinio, just unbelievable. Like this,
yeah, and
and he just
like other footballers are also like getting involved in the comments and like teasing him a little bit. It's so sweet. He's the latest cover of the United stand, and I just love it. I love living
yeah,
here. I could live here forever.
yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said about Casemiro, we've all been. I think a lot of people have been critical of Harry Maguire when we all said that he probably should leave. His time sort of passed. I've said it in the past. When we've talked about players that may go in the summer, we all sort of said, yeah, Casemiro and Maguire. But those two now have sort of paved them way into sort of saying, no, we're here for. Even if let's take Casemiro for an example. Even if even if Casemiro doesn't play much next year, we had the issue when we got rid of Ibrahimovic and big sort of egos and characters in the dressing room. That is so detrimental at the moment. But the problem is, on the other hand, it's 350 grand a week that you're paying for a character in the dressing room. Where are you sort of on that? It's sort of like a bit of a seesaw. You keep him, and it's like good for younger talent, good for like keeping everyone's heads in the game. But on the other hand, you're paying 350 grand a week for that privilege. Like, where are you at with that?
I don't know, honestly. Like, I feel like with the transfer window, like they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. To be honest, because like we said last year, like the fans were like, oh, like let's sell off Casemiro, and like that didn't happen. So I'm just like not getting. I'm not thinking too much about it right now, to be very
Mm,
honest. But I'm glad that you bring that up with like Harry and Casemiro, like being like big personalities or like adults on the pitch. I've spoken about that quite a bit. Like I'm all for like bringing young players, and I think there's a huge asset in that. But as far as like you don't have like leaders and role models on the field, you're gonna struggle. And I feel like that's what we've gotten with like Delict, who's like
mm.
another leader like personality. I've heard people even say like he's material for captain and stuff like that. So yeah, like I wouldn't be upset if we moved him on, to be honest, but I'm just like I'm not like thinking too much about it. Like even if we're paying him 350, it's not like we're gonna get rid of him and then we're gonna see the benefits from like getting him off the payroll. Like they're gonna make it disappear somewhere. So like it's like
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you make a great point actually. Like the idea of you'll lose a player like that, and we won't get a return for another 2 or 3 years on that sort of 350 grand a week. There's certain people at the board that will probably pocket that money instead. But yeah, like we said, unbelievable result. Nobody really anticipated.
yeah.
Let's talk about next week then. Back at Old Trafford Thursday night. Are you in the camp of the game's done, the tie's over, we're in the final, or is it a case of just do what we did on against them away in that home,
I mean, we
make it
can do
6-0
it.
for make it 6-0 and just call it a day?
Like I was looking at this tweet yesterday from like when Bruno, I guess we were in like the UFA finals in 2021.
Mm.
I don't really remember watching that, but he was
Ollie's
in tears,
season, yeah.
and they're like, oh, let's win it for him. So like I'm on a high right now. We won quite a couple of games, so I don't know. We can.
That final was so painful to watch. That was Ollie's year where we'd
Oh
finished second
yeah,
in the league. We were brilliant in Europa. Got all the way to the final, playing really good football. And in that final, I don't know what happened, but Ollie just sort of had like a little bit of I don't know, a bit like a brain fart where he just didn't change anything until like the 115th minute.
yeah.
And then it went to penalties, and it was just the worst penalty shootout of my life. I think it ended up being like 12-11 to, I
Oof.
think, who was it? Villarreal under Unai Emery at the time, I believe. But yeah, it's just, yeah. So Bruno having to go through that, he deserves a trophy of that magnitude. I know a lot of people are going to say, "Yeah, but it's the Europa, it's not Champions League." Yeah, we get it. The only reason we're in the Europa this year is because we won the FA Cup and finished eighth. We're now on the verge of qualifying for the Champions League and finishing 14th. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, the system's fucked. Excuse my French. It's messed up, but it's how it happens. We've qualified for Europa by winning the FA Cup and finishing outside
Yeah.
European places. So there
Yeah.
we go. So
I mean,
yeah,
that's the beauty of football, right? Like that's literally football. Like it's unpredictable, it's messy, it's a little crazy, but that's why we love it. That's why we're here.
yeah, so messy, unbelievable. So yeah, I think I'm in the camp of just keep it easy. Don't make anything stupid on Thursday.
Mhm.
Play exactly how you did against them on Thursday. Make it to the point where there is no hope. Because if they get an early goal, they're going to be right up for it. We just need to kill the game off. 2 or 3-0. That's it.
Yeah.
Job's done.
And like
Six.
the early goals, right? Like I feel like we have this pattern of
Mm,
scoring an offside early goal. So
mm,
if our like coaches can kind of communicate that like not making the first goal offside because they've scored like a lot of games, it's a pattern now. So, if
yeah.
they could just manage to like get those, it's also like always a marginal offside, so that's something that they can train them on. So if that's something they can do, and if we can like hold our lead and not give it away, like just those two things, like that could go a long way for us. They might be feeling a little vengeful because we got their players sent off, good for us, as we should.
Yeah.
But whatever, like we got this. And I
Yeah.
feel like the confidence also really helps, but I don't know. They just need to like ride the high wave and maintain that status.
Yeah. Yeah. On maintaining the momentum and the high wave, we go away to Brentford tomorrow, 2 o'clock
Mm.
kickoff. You'll probably be able to watch it in the States. We can't watch it in the UK because it's not on UK TV. Absolute bullshit. Sky, BT, TNT Sports, sort your fucking lives out. We want to be able to watch all the football. Um, I'm in the camp of wrap the most important players in cotton wool. So for me, Maguire's not starting, Casemiro's not starting. I would even say Bruno, stick him on the bench for the first sort of 60 minutes.
Yeah,
Give a couple of the kids a run out. No injuries, but on the other hand, because let's be honest, we're not playing for anything in the league. The league's done. I've said for months now that I could not care less about the Premier League now. I was bored of it. I was all about the cup competitions and the Europa, and obviously the FA Cup and the League Cup went swimmingly well. So
yeah.
yeah, it's Europa League all the way now. Are you in that camp, or are you sort of thinking, no, we need to keep the best players on the pitches to give them that momentum, give them that, like you just said, riding a high wave going into Thursday?
They don't need to be playing physically to maintain the high wave. They just need to be in a good place mentally, and the team needs to be in a good place together. And I think the manager agrees with us because he said that he's gonna try to play the kids for the Premier League games. So if he does that, I think it's great. Yeah, honestly, just like no injuries. That's like no injuries, like no like weird emotions. Like I don't want someone to like get angry and get
Mm.
a yellow, like a red card or something. I don't know if that like affects it, but it's just like bad vibes. So like
Yeah,
keeping the positivity as high as possible, and yeah, if they have to like start all the kids and let them take a draw, or I mean, who cares at this point? We're
yeah,
just so close to the finals. So if we can win a trophy and silence the haters. I was traveling and wearing my like training kits, and people were like coming at me and like saying, "Oh, like why are you wearing like United stuff? And, like, do you know you're this much in the Premier League?" And I'm like, "Screw you! I'm not gonna stop being a fan just because we're not doing great in the league. Like, get out of my face."
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I would love to silence the haters with a trophy. Not gonna
Well,
lie.
that's the thing, isn't it? Like we have this argument all the time in this country. It's just a case of, you've got Arsenal fans screaming and shouting, saying how brilliant they are, but they haven't won anything in 5 years or even longer.
Yeah.
In the last 2 seasons, United have won 2 trophies, and we're on course for making possibly another trophy this year, and qualifying for the Champions League. And yes, I'll admit our league form is horrendous, but you can't blame that on the team or the. It's just a complete. Well, this Premier League season has been a complete screw up. Like all the scripts have just been thrown out the window. Like City, a massive drop off in their form. Arsenal, again, just complete average. They've stayed at second and done absolutely nothing with that opportunity. And
Yeah.
Liverpool have just, I mean, Liverpool have done what Jurgen Klopp couldn't do. Like Liverpool fans will come at me, but Jurgen Klopp's a fraud because Arne Slot's come in, changed absolutely nothing, signed 2 players, and won the league pretty much at a canter. So
Hmm.
anyone that says that Jurgen Klopp is on the Mount Rushmore of Premier League managers, you can go suck it because that's just embarrassing.
Yep.
But yeah,
There you have it. In a
right,
capsule.
yeah. Um, so we might as well score prediction for tomorrow away at Brentford. Brentford on the back of a 2-0 victory against Forest in the week. So, what are you thinking?
I don't like all the teams that like start with a letter B. Like they always kind of hurt us. I think I'll go 3-2 United. Yeah.
I'm just thinking Brighton, yeah,
Yeah. Brighton is
Bournemouth,
like literally
yeah,
my least favorite like opponent. They like yeah. And I don't know, sometimes it's usually like on a day that I can actually watch the game, and we just lose to the Brightons a lot, and then Brentford was like the more comfortable one, and well,
yeah.
not from recent history anymore, so
No, and then you got Bournemouth last week. Great performance last week, 1-1 in the end, but poor for most of the
yeah.
game. But yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
what do you reckon?
I think 3-2 United.
I like the idea of a win. I will take a very comfortable 1-0. Like I'll take that all day. No injuries, just a 60th minute slot in. Couldn't care how it went in. Is what it is. We can't watch it over here. Embarrassing, but there we are.
Yeah, that's like really something though. That's really crazy. And I saw that they've been like, charging people who have been like streaming on like different platforms and stuff like that
Mm,
that are not um well, they're not like paid platforms, like they're like torrents and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge like how absolutely insane and disgusting that is. And yeah, like figure your shit out, guys.
because you can. So in the States, you can watch every Premier League game. Like it doesn't matter when it is, what time it is. You can watch all of them.
Yeah, it feels like a crime because why are you guys like just
I know.
hundreds of miles away and you're like not allowed to watch it? And yeah, I mean, I've spoken a lot about like streaming laws and like how the like this I call it like the streaming wars because they just can't decide what to do. You have to get like two different subscriptions to watch the same league and stuff. It's really annoying, but here at least you can watch it. And then also like football fans, like American football fans are just starting to experience this in the last year. And I'm like, welcome to the club, guys. So like maybe now that you're affected by it and you're like a majority, maybe we'll get some answers. But yeah, it's just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. So the reason they did it started with the 3 p.m. blackout in the UK. So all the games that were on at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, the idea is that they didn't want to show them all on the TV because then the stadiums will be empty. So the idea was, keep people going to the matches, but that was like 40 years ago. So I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
let's be honest, live is live. If you want to go and watch a live game of football, you're going to go and watch it live. Like just because it's on the TV, it's not a case like that. But
yeah.
it's
No,
because
it's
unfortunately United have, like yourself, Denver, Colorado. It's a
yeah,
case of you've got fans all over the world that want to watch these games, but even like we've just said, you can watch all of them, and us
mhm,
tomorrow have got us satisfied with the fact that, like you say, some people have got to watch it on illegal streaming services. Not myself
yeah,
because I couldn't really care less.
mm, yeah.
It's a
No, it's
shambles.
it's it's not acceptable to be honest.
No. Um, so 3-0 already next Thursday. What are you saying for your score prediction for next Thursday? And give me a goal scorer for next Thursday as well.
Ooh, okay. Rasmus Hoyland because he needs one again.
I'll take it.
Garnacho Garnacho's gonna score. He wants it. Um, who else? Who else? Another Harry goal. Yeah, and I'll go Harry because why not? I think he's on a streak.
So
Uh,
you're going 3-0 on the night, 6-0 in aggregate.
uh yeah,
It's good, isn't it?
it's giving the same energy. And I'm also gonna add a Mason Mount assist because
Oh, nice.
that guy.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
He's assisting Maguire.
Yeah.
That'd be
Ooh. We would not be able to come down from that high.
good. No, I like it.
That's gonna be too good. Okay, yeah.
Um, let's very quickly let's talk about. I don't know if you've seen it. You've probably seen it all over Twitter, but the links with us from Matthias Cunha, obviously playing at Wolves at the moment. Played against Man City yesterday. Unbelievable game for him yesterday. Very, very heavily linked to us now. Like we've said, we're not really paying much attention to transfer rumours and stuff like that at the minute, but a big character. I don't know how much you know about him, but what do you think he could possibly bring if United do end up signing him, which it looks likely?
Yeah, I've like really heard him being linked for like a really long time actually. Um I don't know him like too well, but I was surprised like we brought on Patrick Jogu, who's like another player who's been
Mm.
linked for a long time. So honestly, I wouldn't really be surprised to like see him come over. And like we mentioned earlier, Brighton is like one of the teams I'm really scared of, and Wolves is like right up there with them.
Yeah,
So it would be
recent
really
history.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be really interesting, to have one of their players come in for us, and he's also like a young player. Um, so there's like a lot of longevity in his career. So I think that would be exciting. And yeah, there's some links that like for the summer. Um, I think that they're like really warm leads at this point, so I would be excited to like see them materialize.
yeah. There's also some links that you can actually genuinely get excited about, like players that you actually do think they could actually make a difference. Now, any like-minded United fan or any sensible United fan isn't thinking, right, we're challenging next year. Like we're going to win the Premier League. Don't be ridiculous because we are so far off, even top 10 at this point. With the Premier League as it is, we've and with the potential of playing Champions League football next year, it's going to add so much to our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just going to be such a long and winded season
Yeah.
already next year as it has been this year. Like I can't tell you how excited. 4 games to go in the Premier League, and it's just no more. And I looked at because I've got the fixtures linked up to my calendar right on my iPhone. So where was it? So we play Villa on the final day on the 25th of May, and
Oof.
then yeah, tell me about it.
May 25th is like my birthday, and historically, we've won the games on that day.
Oh, good. But what really bugged me, Naomi, is that 5 days later we are playing Hong Kong,
Hong
China
Kong. I
in
know.
in Hong Kong, and it's like, are
Yeah, I know.
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and I think we also have another friendly with the ASEAN All Stars versus Man United in the
Oh my
hybrid
god, yeah.
friendlies. That's on Wednesday in Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, and then they're gonna be here in the US for the Premier League Summer Series, which I'll be in Atlanta if anyone wants to say hi for that. But I think that's like
Ooh.
3 games in three like different states. So yeah, they're gonna burn them out before the season even starts. They're gonna give them injuries. If Mason Mount gets injured for the third preseason in a row, like I'm starting a petition. Um,
I didn't even notice that until you said that. So we play on the Sunday, and
yeah,
then
and
3 days later we're playing in Guadalupe.
I think 3 days before, on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken,
28th.
according to my calendar, we play in Kuala Lumpur. It's a friendly. Yeah, and like earlier. So yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you, they're just gonna get injured because they keep going to all these stadiums. At least historically, I don't know which stadiums like
So when
they're going to
so
this time.
if Ruben Amorim has to make these trips as well, like he's not
No, no,
he surely it's just
it's the whole
absolutely
team.
ridiculous.
The whole team makes the trip. Like the media team, like everyone, the fan engagement team, everyone, and anyone involved makes the trip. So yeah, it's that's how we're starting it off. Yeah, it's I don't know.
So the Strawberry Arena, where's that? Is that States?
I'm not sure.
Because apparently we're playing Leeds there on the 19th of July.
I
So is
think
that a stateside one?
I think it's in Sweden from what I'm seeing
Oh
on my.
my good God.
Yeah, they're gonna do like a little summer world tour,
Oh
and then
yeah,
they're
and
just
then
gonna be
there you
burnt out
go.
by September.
27th of July is MetLife.
Yeah, yeah. So then it goes 27, and then I think the third is Mercedes Benz Stadium, and then I think it's three games. I don't. I think I'm not sure.
So where are
And
you going
that's
to be?
like,
You're at the Mercedes Benz one, did you say?
yes, I'll be there, front row.
Yeah, because we've also got the 31st Soldier Field, which is
Yeah.
where you must know where Soldier Field is. That is Chicago.
Oh right.
And then, like you say, the third Mercedes Benz Stadium,
Yeah.
Atlanta, Georgia. Nice. How far is that from you then?
It's not too far. It's just like a 2 to 3 hour flight.
2 to 3 hour flight.
Yeah, it's a flight
Yeah.
because Colorado's like west coasty. It's just close to the west. Um, yeah, I've been there once before. I have a couple of friends there. I asked them to come, so they're gonna be with me. So I think it's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We will have to do a show. Here we go. Sorry.
Yes.
Professor X Men, before we move on too quickly, he's prem proven, which is important, which we've been hindered by players that can't hit the ground running. Cunha will. Absolutely agree. We've definitely missed out on that sort of Premier League proven talent and players
Mhm.
like that. I think that's why we should have gone in for Ivan Toney last year before he got sold to the Saudis. Matthias Cunha, massive, like would be a great addition to the squad.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we'll have to do a show. Try and get you on a show before that friendly. We'll try and do like a, even if you do like a beam back where you do some like send us some videos from like asking
Yeah.
United fans for them. We'll get your balls out podcast like
Yeah. Let's
microphone.
do it.
Yeah, we'll
Let's do
do that.
it.
We'll
I've
get
done
you a
that a
balls out
couple of
podcast
times.
sticker. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I saw obviously when you did one a couple. Was it maybe last season or the season before
Yeah. Yeah.
when
We
you
did.
met up
We
with
did.
like
We did a big one like this like summer, like 2024, the one that just passed.
yeah
Um, and then before that, we also did like a smaller one. But like this past one, for our channel, we were meant to United. We had like a full production. And yeah, everyone was there. It was really cool.
yeah it was really good. I have to say, Naomi, I actually watched quite a bit of your last one, or it might have
Oh,
been
thank
one of
you.
yours. Where was it? Where is it? I've got to give it a shout out because I was really impressed with it. I
Aw,
really
thank you,
enjoyed it.
Nate.
It was where is it? It might have been a little while ago now. Oh, it's the one that you said was the best podcast that you've hosted. The one with Scott Norby.
Oh yeah,
I
you
genuinely
watched
really
that?
enjoyed a lot of that. I really watched
Oh,
that.
thank you, Nate. That's so cool
So
that you
anyone that hasn't
liked
seen
it.
it, go and check out at HRH underscore Naomi on Twitter and scroll down, or you've got Mentally United in her bio. Check out her that channel and that podcast because it is a brilliant, brilliant series, and they get a really, really great guests on talking about how mental health has affected their careers and their lifestyle. Really, really good stuff. We'll have to
Thank
try and do
you.
like a.
Appreciate you
We'll have to
watching
try
it.
and do like. Yeah, we'll have to try and do like a series with Balls Out Podcast meets Mentally United, and we'll get some of
I
our
would love
guys on the call.
that.
We should do
Yeah,
that.
I would love that.
Absolutely.
Let's do that. Absolutely. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. Anyway, yeah, thank you everyone so much for joining us. A little bit of a engagement in the Twitter as well. In the comments was really, really nice to see. Make sure you're liking and subscribing and come back for more. Yeah, keep an eye out on our socials as well. We will be back. I'm assuming we'll be back Tuesday evening for either a Balls and Brew or a talk of the league. And then next Saturday we'll be back again for another Red Devils roundup. Hopefully on the back of a big, big result, and we're singing all the way to the Europa League final. But yeah, thank you very much, Naomi. It's been an absolute pleasure as
Thank
always,
you,
and I
Nate.
look forward to having you back soon.
Same here. Look forward to being back. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Take care, everyone.